Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another ridiculous loadout. This time, as I said in my last video, I'd like to mention what I think are good practices for YouTube channels and such, because as I stare in disbelief right now at my astounding 810 subscribers, I think that there are some general tips and things that I sort of discovered along the way that help the general health of my channel. Most are pretty obvious and common sense, but before I do, I would like to before I get into the whole YouTube thing, I'd like to say a few words about this kit. The terrorist or the Talibanistan loadout was suggested by a Braden1211 and consists of basically what a terrorist would carry, and that is of course Russian guns, the Axul with a foregrip, an RPG, and AT mines, which is as close to an IED as it gets. Now, as for the specialization, I always carry extra explosives when I'm engineer, just because 6 AT mines are better than 3, especially because I doubled up on them when I put them down, and 1 AT mine, is likely to disable a tank and 2 are likely to destroy it. So you want to put them down next to each other, far enough that they cover most of the road, that the tank coming up the road hits at least one, and close enough to each other that if one goes, so does the other. Okay, so this isn't everything. Braden also asked if I could jump around like an idiot after getting a kill and fire my gun into the air wildly and yell like an idiot. So here goes. And I feel like I'm going to live to regret that. I tell you this though, this was an incredibly wasteful use of my ammo, as only 4 or so mags come with my primary. I was finding myself empty but quick. So if you see me prancing around like an idiot making an ass of myself, that's probably it. Now as far as the AT mines go, I love using them. Love them ever since we met in Bad Company 2. Especially that Panama map. That was so good for AT mines. Okay, so YouTube. How do you get views and subscribers? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you make good videos, and even though you've got a ton of potential and the videos are awesome, you only get 100 views and like 5 subscribers. Other channels that have content that they put less work into have 700 subscribers and 5,000 views per video. Why? Well, most of it is how you present yourself. Because basically you have to sell your video to people, work it so people would click on it and see it. YouTube actually has a ton of stuff you can do to fiddle with your settings and to present yourself in different ways, and you can actually have some fun doing it. Okay, so you upload a video and you have to name it something. Give it a name that says most of what you're trying to show in the video, but try to keep it short. Most people are lazy and will only see a couple of the first words in a title if it's a long title. Also, if the video will ever go into a video response to another video, only so much of the title will be visible in the video response section of the comments. So you definitely want to keep it short, or get the most important words in first. Also, the related videos that YouTube will suggest seem to be based on the title and the first couple of tags. So you will choose your tags for the video, don't call your battlefield video enemy blender or something, because then it will show up in related videos with blenders, and kitchen appliances, and even if you change your title and save it, it will take YouTube at least a couple of days until the related videos are chosen by the bot, and by then, your video might not be relevant anymore. So, think before you type. Assume that all the title and tags are forever. Also, your description is important, but here's the thing. People very, very rarely read descriptions, and about 1% of the people that do click the more button to see the rest of the description. So if you've got anything to say in the description, use the first two lines that are visible without expanding the description first, because people just won't click the expand button anyway. Okay, so let's cover thumbnails. Thumbnails are your video's mini movie posters. They must be, fun, bright, and interesting as you can make them. Use Photoshop, use whatever you can, but don't use the automatically selected thumbnails from your video that YouTube generates. Choose a fun, bright font, or if it's a Battlefield video, use a Battlefield style font. Here you can write something different from what it says in your title, so have fun with it. Now, your video's audio and video quality are important. People like HD videos for obvious reasons, and ultra graphic settings if it's a game recording. If you're recording your voice, use a good mic. Some people use $500, studio mics, which obviously I can't afford, but use what you have wisely, Now, I could barely afford this Logitech 7.1 headset at $100, but so far I love it. I mean, it's awesome, and the mic is on a rotating boom, but I can also twist it closer or further from my mouth. And I'll tell you what, in the beginning I nearly used to shove it inside my mouth so people could hear me, but this wasn't good at all because I'm a mouth breather, and any bodily function noise that I made was right there, amplified by the mic. So I twisted the boom a bit away from my mouth, and the problem all but disappeared. Now I get a lot less dislikes on my videos, and it doesn't sound like I'm breathing hard because I'm rubbing one out after every sentence. So play around and see what you get. Now, I think I'll stop right here, as this commentary seems to be dragging on and on forever, and I still have a few things to mention. So I think I'll post part 2 of my YouTube pro tips and the next time I do a ridiculous loadout. I have been Crawlers. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and check out my other videos at the end of this one. Thanks.